right now, let's get an update on the latest sport, which is Prince Harry moaning about things, because that's pretty much what his job is now, just moaning about how hard done by he is. The latest is for his Netflix documentary on his Invictus Games. One of the greatest things he's actually done in his life. Well, not only just fighting for us in Afghanistan, all credit to him for that, but then setting up a charitable games where actually, you know, injured sportsmen and women can compete against each other. But latest documentary, as always, focuses on Harry. Let's talk to Kinsey Schofield, who's a royal commentator. Good morning to you, Kinsey.
Good morning to you. I just checked RottenTomatoes.com and it has all of 1.5 stars. So not so great audience.
That's the ratings. They're not so happy. Well, I have to say, our royal correspondent Rupert Bell was quite. He said he quite enjoyed it. Thought it wasn't bad at all. But as always, the situation is we have got Prince Harry whinging and moaning. I mean, his whole thing is, you know, there hasn't been any support for the migrants, and his, you know, and no one cared, including the British media. The Sun today have got front page going, oh, yeah, we did. Here are some front pages about help our heroes and the like. And he's also said he didn't get any help, any support when he came back from his own family, contradicting things he himself has said before.
Right. It's like the man doesn't own a computer and can't just Google things, past interviews. Well, yeah, I mean, with the Help Our Heroes, I think that the Sun raised £370 million that before Harry even gone to Afghanistan. But yes, I even remember the instance, because there's one specific story that everybody's sharing, a podcast interview that Harry gave where he credits Prince William. But there was another instance, and I don't know if you remember it, where Prince Harry was brought home early. He had to do some media interviews and was clearly uncomfortable and was clearly upset about coming home early. And Prince William was there and shut down the interviews because he could tell that his brother was uncomfortable by some of the questions. So, you know, his brother has been very protective of him over the years. And I think that this is really unfair criticism and really unnecessary, because I agree with Rupert. When you get down to some of these veterans, they have incredible stories and they're incredible people. Why dirty it up with your family?
Yeah, with me whinging. And you weren't injured. Look, many people who fought out in Afghanistan and Iraq, you know, and obviously in previous wars, and in subsequent ones, you know, will suffer post-traumatic stress disorder just from what they've seen, what they've experienced, what they've done themselves. But, you know, you've come away without an injury. You're one of the lucky ones. And so many of our servicemen and women have come back with horrific injuries, many, you know, people losing their loved ones in those wars. To sort of, again, make it about you again and again is quite bizarre. But this tallies again with Meghan and her claim that she felt suicidal and that there was no one to help her in the palace, and that they banned her from seeing a therapist. You know, none of that being true, none of that even conceivably being true. And the idea that someone who had set up a mental health charity with his brother and sister-in-law didn't have anyone to go to is ridiculous.
Well, I just want to know what therapist they're talking to that is saying, yeah, I think you should continue to complain about this publicly on the world stage for the next 3 years. You know, I would imagine a therapist would be like, let's get over this. Let's jump over this this particular topic and let's get excited about the future. But they do seem to dwell in the past.
They do, and that's definitely a thing. It's, again, when your life's that good and you're still moaning, at some point, you know, move on. He lost his mum. I'm so sorry about that. Family breakup. I imagine living in the royal family is absolutely horrific. But yeah, move on with your life. But I mean, once again,
this is the 26th anniversary today of Princess Diana's death, and there are arguments online that it was really inappropriate for him to release it at this time. Is he trying to hijack those? Yeah, every article.
Hey, it's his mum. It's his mum. He gets to choose. But again,
agree.
Once again, though, when he you know, makes these claims, and one of the claims being, again, about to get the British press, how it was British media who ruined his deployment to Afghanistan and made him come back early. Again, that's not true. The British press were informed. Editors and royal editors were told that he was out in Afghanistan and asked not to print anything to protect his safety and those of the men serving around him. And they did that for 6 months. It was an Australian magazine that exposed it. Because they didn't obey the rules. And again, it's just the British media he wants to have a go at the whole time.
But I think we should also hold the filmmakers accountable, because they're not doing their due diligence as well. Somebody could have easily stepped in and said really quickly, we should say that was Australia.
No, but you're right. That's a very good point. But he obviously, like Meghan, they have people around them who don't tell them the truth, and you basically, you don't last very long if you tell them the truth. That's a very big issue. Kinsey Schofield, royal commentator, thank you very much indeed.